Hello, friends. Join me on another walk as I explore making wrong decisions and your right to do so. So, before I begin, my name is Jessica, and I engage in conversations about weight loss, weight-related disease education, and how to achieve weight loss in an affordable and sustainable way that honors our way of living. Lately, I've been struggling with engaging back in weight loss and the conversation that actually arises out of weight loss and the engagement. The reason behind that is because I am struggling between calorie counting and intuitive eating. Is there such a thing when you have an ED? Is there such a thing as being able to re-engage back into intuitive eating? And what does that look like? There's a camp that says that yes, you can, and there's other camps that say no, really not unless you address the inherent problem. But there's also a little bit of a global situation. As a whole and as a society, are we now in tune with our bodies, specifically to do with all the processed foods? Are we able to assess hunger versus being full and caloric really sensitivity, meaning that are we able to say, well, we're having enough to maintain our bodies, when as a matter of fact we don't. We actually overeat, and the tendency is to continue to overeat. And from the biological perspective, in order to, because we were hunters and gatherers, and we need to collect as much calories as we possibly can in the if we see famine, right? But anyway, I digress. So why am I trying to explore, do you have the right to make your wrong decision? Well, specifically to do with topics such as, do you actually tell people not to smoke, or tell people not to eat, or, have people make sometimes decisions like their housing or their drugs and things like that. Well, if you look at it from a proverbial light, you say to yourself, well, yeah, right, you do have the right to have, to get yourself into to get to smoke. You have the right. There's an amount of right that you are able to exercise when it comes to taking drugs or eating too much. I think that, and this is my opinion and my opinion only, I think that we all have the right to make our own wrong decisions. And specifically, as a person that has not really made very good decisions in the past, specifically to do with weight loss, because I've tried everything. I have been 45. Until I was 45, I was over 100 plus pounds overweight. So obviously overeating and binge eating were my problem, specifically to do with dealing with issues to do emotional and things like that. So now I think the conversation might need a little bit of a deviation, because I used to feel, and this is in the past, I used to feel that people that were kids, very young kids, and they were overweight, had different needs than people who, for example, in their 20s, 30s, they started gaining weight because of hormonal issues and things like that. I would say that as a fellow human, not as an RN, as a fellow human, I used to take the higher ground in saying, well, those people that that gain weight later in life, they have different problems than I do. It's more genetic for me. I'm just big boned, and I've never been small, so therefore I will never be small. The best I can hope for is to continue to maintain my weight as it is. Now, engaging in my weight loss had to take a little bit of a deviation from that mentality, because regardless of whether you were a child obese child, or you gain all this weight later in life, I don't know that it really matters. I think it's more to do with the fact that choices are made each and every day that affect that consistency of weight. Now, are they bad choices? I don't know. I'm not going to say that intellectually I am the keeper of whether someone makes bad, right or wrong decisions. I think that if you got to where I was, which is over 100 pounds, something's definitely not health promoting in the way that I am actually managing my emotions, my feelings, the way I deal with being bored, the way I deal with stress, right? So back to the making your own wrong decisions. Yeah, you are very much entitled to making your own wrong decisions. So with me, I think what I am dealing with right now is that how do I move forward after 5 years of consistently going from losing weight to maintaining, to being in a caloric maintenance every 3 months, and then going back to weight loss, and always keeping in mind and keeping in mind my caloric intake. How do I break out of that? In terms of how do I go to that sphere? Now, there's a second thing that I want to touch upon really lightly here, is the fact that I haven't reached my goal, and my original goal was to always be a certain weight and then start dealing with intuitive eating. But I still have about 20 pounds to lose. Why am I entertaining this now? I think it has to do with the fact that I am tired. And the decisions of being on top of things in terms of weight loss has taken its toll. Especially when, of course, I am posting for the sake of not only accountability, it's just to make sure that other people are also, they have a platform where they can go to and see my struggles, even though now I am closer to my weight goal, and that the fact that these things don't stop, the struggles, the weight struggles, the way you look at your body, that the caloric counting, all that doesn't stop. And it's okay to once in a while make your own wrong decisions in terms of how you deal with food. And it's okay. Because just as long as you go back to trying, which is I'm trying very hard, that I think that eventually will be okay. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.